So a bunch of you messaged me about this news bit today, and I did see this news bit today. Actually, I did stumble across this, viewing some things and looking over some articles and stuff. And I did get some stuff in my inbox about it. But a lot of you all messaged me and DM'd me and tweeted at me about this stuff. So I figured I would go ahead and make a video on it because I do have a few things to say about this. I feel like this is a good thing. Okay, this is a good thing that they're doing this. That they put this out. They admitted their mistake on the PS3, PlayStation Vita debacle, bad decision. Sony's making some choice decisions, but and they're doing good business on a lot of fronts. But there's been a couple of things they really dropped the ball, and this is one. But before we get into this, I'm going to read the statement. I'm going to read the whole statement from them, give my opinion on it, and then give my opinion, my take on what really kind of influence this decision, right? So before we get into that, subscribe to the channel if you're into it. If you're coming here and checking out all my videos, subscribe to the channel. Always makes me feel good to see those numbers go up. It gives me the warm and fuzzies. Makes me feel good. And like the video if you're into it, if you like the content. So just makes me feel good. Helps other people see it that may not see my stuff. But let's get on with it. Also, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Kaufman20XX. Keep up with me on there. But into this article, it says players will be able to continue to purchase games on PS3 and PS Vita. Okay, this is a statement coming out from Jim Ryan, President and CEO, of course, of Sony Interactive Entertainment. We all know Jim. We all know who Jim is. Well, most of us know who Jim is. So the article reads: Recently, we notified players that PlayStation Store for PS3 and PS Vita devices was planned to end this summer. Upon further reflection, however, it's clear that we made the wrong decision here. That's a good call, right? That was good of them to do. So today I'm happy to say that we will be keeping the PlayStation Store operational for PS3 and PS Vita devices. PSP commerce functionality will retire on July 2nd, 2021 as planned. Okay. When we initially came to this decision to end purchasing support for PS3 and PS Vita, it was born out of a number of factors, including commerce support challenges for older devices and the ability for us to focus more of our resources on newer devices where a majority of our gamers are playing on. We see now that many of you are incredibly passionate about being able to continue purchasing classic games on PS3 and PS Vita for the foreseeable future, so I'm glad we were able to find a solution to continue operations. Okay. I'm glad that we can keep this piece of our history alive for gamers to enjoy. What a piece of PR wording that was. I wonder how many writers in the room came up with that line. I'm glad that we can keep this piece of our history alive for gamers to enjoy. Come on, man. While we continue to create cutting-edge new game worlds for PS4, PS5, and the next generation of VR, thank you for sharing your feedback with us. We're always listening and appreciate the support from our PlayStation community. So first off, it's really good that it's a positive thing. This is a very positive message, right? It's good that he came out and said, "Hey, look, that was a mistake. We shouldn't have done that, right? We get it. We're sorry. We're just going to close the PSP store." Now, a lot of people, there's still a lot of people that use the PSP store for their PSP stuff or whatever, I suppose. I mean, I would think most of those people migrated over to PS Vita before Sony slammed the door shut on it, but it is what it is. So it's good that they listened to the feedback from the community, and that feedback was ruckus. Let me tell you what, you all followed me on Twitter when this was going down, when this first got announced. I voiced my displeasure with it. I thought it was dumb, on top of the whole debacle with, PS5 availability right now. This was just another stain kind of on the name, because it's taking stuff away from people that had spent hundreds, upwards of thousands of dollars on content for these devices, and now it's just not going to be available. Before that decision ever left the boardroom or the Zoom call or whatever, somebody should have said, "Look, this is going to be a bad look." Maybe somebody said that and they went through with it anyway. Now they're having to eat crow and go back on their decision because that was the wrong decision. They were right for saying it was. Now, what do I think influenced this big message and this decision? So, for starters, if Sony was really interested in what's best for the community, what the community wants, what the community of PlayStation gamers and stuff wants, right? That's what they give you, the warm and fuzzies, a piece of our history and everything for you. No. They thought they could save a few cool $1 million by shutting down these servers off of their red line every year, off of their bottom line every year. Now, it's business. I get that, and it makes sense. And if nobody was using this stuff, if it was just some kind of like bygone thing for PlayStation 2 or whatever, yeah, okay. Most people have graduated beyond that. They're not, there wasn't a store for that stuff. There was a store for this stuff that you spent money on. It's not like you got a physical item from them. You did not receive a physical item from buying stuff from this store. You received a digital item that if you want, that you're supposed to have ownership for the life of, until the world explodes or you die or whatever. You are supposed to have ownership of this material, right? They were about to make a bad decision because they were about to wipe all that hard-earned money that you had put into this. They were going to wipe it all off the table. And they didn't care. It was to save a few $1 million off their bottom line every year. If they were really concerned about the community, they would have never made that decision, right? I'm just calling spade a spade here. I'm just calling it like I see it. You know, if you're concerned about your consumer base and what they might think, first off, you put out a survey. You gauge. Maybe not everybody that owns a system, but PlayStation Plus members, if you're concerned about that community, especially people that are giving you $60-$70 a year just to be a member of your service or whatever, you send out some kind of survey as, hey, we're thinking about getting rid of the Vita and the PS3 support. What do you think about that? That never happened, right? If they had sent out like a survey explaining their decision for it, and giving us like a 6-month notice, okay, we're thinking about doing this on this date, 6 months from the time the survey is coming out. What do you think? Everything that would at least give us an opportunity. Okay, well, I better get my ducks in a row. I better start downloading stuff and getting things where they need to be. I've already completely downloaded my catalog, my PS3 and PS Vita catalog. I went and got external memory stuff. I got it all completely downloaded because of this. And now they're coming out and saying it's not the case. Well, I'm not going to spend any more money on that store, on those stores, which sucks because there was some Vita stuff I wanted to get. Not getting it now, right? Okay, so that's the first thing. They didn't really care about this. This is not a decision based on them caring about the community. What it is based on, how many people came out online and said, all right, well, this is Sony giving us free reign to pirate all this stuff that we don't have available anymore. That's what it is. That's what it is. If you're emulating stuff, basically people were coming out and saying, okay, I'm just going to emulate all this stuff now because you're not making it available to me. You're taking away my availability to these things. I'm just going to emulate it. I'm going to jailbreak my Vita and I'm going to emulate all this stuff, all this money that you still would have been getting little drops in the bucket. At this point, it's just drops in the bucket to Sony, right? Like whatever money they're making on PS Vita and PS3 games and extra support and all that, it's just drops in a bucket compared to what they're making on PS4, PS5, VR stuff, or whatever. Even VR, VR is kind of not doing great either, right? But they're still going to push VR because it's current tech. But it doesn't do nearly the numbers PS4 and PS5 stuff does. But this decision was based on the fact that Sony saw the backlash, saw what people were saying about it. It was like, oh man, we don't want people going and pirating this stuff if it's not available. And if we take it away from them, there's not really a whole lot we can say about it. We better take that back. So all they had to do was take it back, come out and say, we're not going to shut the servers down. We're not going to hit the kill switch. PSP's gone. PSP is going to be gone. That's the sacrifice they're willing to make. If you want to emulate PSP stuff, go ahead and emulate PSP stuff because they probably looked at their dollars on PSP. Not much. Probably not much. They're probably not even making $100,000 a year profit on PSP stuff. So that was gone, right? If I had to guess, PS3 and PS Vita, especially PS Vita stuff, because I feel like people probably aren't doing PS3 stuff as much. Maybe they are for the PlayStation Classics, right? Maybe they are for the PlayStation Classics. I take it back. They probably are making PS3 money because people got those PS3s hooked up and they are still downloading the PlayStation Classics. So yeah, they were probably just breaking even on what it costs to keep these things open as to shut them down. But here's the thing. If they were just breaking even, making a little bit more profit every year on this stuff, on just old tech that they probably got maybe 10 people hired to work on or whatever, or to maintain, they were going to lose some money. And then when you start letting people emulate your games, then they start emulating other stuff. Other stuff they may not want you to emulate, right? And so if you get into the risky situation where at some point PlayStation does want to make backwards compatibility, PlayStation 6, maybe even a PS5 patch at some point, you can go back and play PS1, PS2, PS3 games or whatever. If you have already let people emulate it because you took that stuff away, well, they're not going to pay for your service if they can just emulate it on whatever they're playing on. If somebody jailbreaks a PS3 or if they throw an emulator on their computer, which is the most likely case, right? They're not going to buy that stuff when it's backwards compatible on a new system that they're going to have to pay money for again. So yeah, this is a shot in the foot that could have been avoided. That could have been avoided if Sony just made the PlayStation 5 able to play those old games. There it is. There it is. They, if they had done that, this would not be an issue. Wouldn't be an issue. If they had some service, and don't come at me with PS Now. PS Now sucks. PS Now is not a good service. The internet drain that it takes to run PS Now is baffling. How bad that is, right? So no, PS Now is not an option for the average consumer. For the average consumer with average internet, it is not an option, right? They gotta do better. Xbox is doing a good job with that. Now I still take Sony over Xbox, right? Absolutely, any day of the week. But Xbox is eating their lunch on that front. So it all comes down to this. PlayStation 6, after they had to put this press release out, they are absolutely, when they start planning the PlayStation 6, if they're not planning it now, if they start planning it in a year or two and start laying out the groundwork for the architecture and everything, mark my words, backwards compatibility. It's going to go to the top of the list for them because it hasn't to this point, because they haven't cared. Again, because they haven't cared about what the community has been asking for. They don't care. They do their own thing now. So PlayStation's like a weird place now, right? They do their own thing. I still love the games. I'm still a fan. But they've made some decisions, and you've got great people who have just left the company. Like, look at the people who... You can Google it. I'm not going to the list, but there have been great people that have just left that company over the past few years. Sean Layden was a great ambassador for that company. Not there anymore. And that's just one name of several. So, yeah, I don't know what's going on over there. But after all this, top of the list. They're going to put backwards compatibility on there. They're going to push forward with their agenda to get rid of all this old stuff because they don't want to maintain it anymore. But they saw the community backlash on this. And my point of this whole thing is, if they had just asked the community before they went and made a broad stroke decision that would influence people that have spent total of millions of dollars on this stuff, right, that they thought they would have access to forever. Even though they're not supporting those things anymore, it's not a physical product, it's a digital product. You own rights to that digital product, and if they say we're pulling the plug on it, well, you bought it at one time digitally, I'm just going to go pirate it now. And you open the door for them to pirate other things. That's why this decision was made. So there's a lot of marketing, kind of PR speak and stuff like that in there. But at the end of the day, that's what this was about. This was about keeping people from getting comfortable pirating things. And I don't believe in pirating. You shouldn't pirate. Even my ROMs that I have on my computer are games that I actually have over here on my shelf. I believe in the creators getting their money. I believe in, and not the third, like Sony or whatever, not about giving them money. It's about making sure the creators get their money. Like whatever nickel to dime they get from my purchase, I make sure that they get that nickel or that dime, because those nickels and dimes add up. When I get a bucket full of them, you got a pretty good amount of money, But anyway, that's my thoughts on this. Post your comments. Let me know what you all think about this take. I know It's a saucy take. Some of you all may not enjoy it. That's fine. This is my honest opinion, though. This is my honest opinion. I feel like this is, this was their decision. This is what influenced their decision. And I wish it was more about, concern for the community and all that kind of thing. But just the way they've handled PlayStation 5's release and, just letting scalpers just like hoard these things. And then they finally stepped in when people complained enough and said, hey, I'm just not buying one now or whatever. They see that money just burning and flying out the door in ashes. Then they step in and say, okay, we're setting these PlayStation Direct things up. We're going to announce it. And, you should have done that from the start. It was already in the ether that this was going to happen, but that's a video for another time. So PlayStation, you've got an incredible community, a base of gamers and stuff ready to just give you money for your product and stuff. You have got to treat them better. You've got to treat them better. That's it. And Sony's got to learn that. So anyway, y'all have a great night. Keep rocking. Be safe out there. Be good to each other. And I got more stuff coming later on today. So y'all keep an eye out. Click the bell for notifications when my stuff goes up. You got at least 2 more videos coming today. So it's going to be a busy Monday. Be a busy Monday here on the channel. Plus, we got the live stream happening Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be there for that. And until then, y'all be good to each other. Be safe out there. And I will catch you all in the next video.